Hi, another day from Bordo's kitchen. I was in India and I decided to fly down for a couple of days, my mom's, and here is something that I decided to make. Now, it's a tale. As you know, Bordo's kitchen is about heritage, a twist and a tale. This is a tale. This is a story from my childhood days growing up in Guwahati in Assam. And there was this thing called doing picnic during the winter season, predominantly November, December, Jan to mid-Feb. You know, all of us would pile up in a truck, open top truck, go towards the riverbed, which is now kind of dried up a little bit. There's a lot of sand, and we'd cook in the sand, and that was called a picnic with some music system. And the best part of that was the food that used to be cooked on the riverbed, be it a lentil, be it a vegetable, and mostly it had to have mutton. That's the mutton I'm going to cook today, and I'm calling it the good old Assam picnic mutton. I'm going to do it exactly the same way that we would enjoy that cooking way back in the late 70s and early 80s, and this picnic thing that I attended in Guwahati or nearby places. Hi, so you know what, I'm going to replicate exactly the same way. So if Alam could point the thing here, we're going to make a makeshift fireplace here, like they would do it in the sand. And similarly, we're going to cook outdoor, and the utensil which it was cooked in, it would have a sand layer so that the flame or the heat is equally distributed. The good old ways of doing a heat distribution plate. And the ingredients are simple because you can't carry a lot of ingredients, but the taste was just out of the world along the riverside. So that's exactly an outdoor setup, a temporary fireplace, a simple dish reminiscent of my childhood, picnic mutton from Assam. So here is Haren, our man who looks after our house, housekeeper, treasurer, everything. And he's going to show you the pan, which has been layered with mud. There you see, so that the heat dissipation happens. And that's the makeshift. That's exactly how you would do it in this riverside, makeshift cooking with generally bricks that you find. And then here's the wood, and that's where you're going to cook now. This is the cooking time. If Jeet can come close, let me show you the ingredients, right? So this is onion chopped roughly. This is picnic. There is no slice, dice, etc. We got coriander powder, red chili, Kashmiri red chili powder, turmeric. This is papaya, raw papaya. This is the tenderizer, because remember, you're cooking out in the open. And then you got ginger paste, garlic paste, and the whole meat, the whole spices, which is cardamom, cardamom, cinnamon, clove, and red chili and bay leaves, right? And ingredient is mustard oil. So that's what happens. Very, very rough and tough. Like no kind of gourmet cooking here. And this will happen here. If you can see, we are lighting up the fire, and we're going to cook in this utensil, which is what happens in a typical picnic in Guwahati, around Sandubi, or around the various riverbeds that you have. Lots of riverbeds in Assam, and this is what you do between November and February mid, and this is from my childhood. Now the fire is lit. I'm going to put the pan here and let it heat up a little bit before I put the cooking medium. And again, this is very typically done the way we would do it in a riverbed somewhere in Assam during a picnic. Now it's the cooking medium, which is always a mustard, a lot of it. You have to give a lot of mustard oil. Okay, this is the key point, because otherwise it doesn't cook. You're doing it in the wilderness, if you will. So once the oil heats up, then goes the raw spices. I'll just remove the stem of this, right? And if you want, you can just do this and remove the seeds on the side of the bank of the river, which I'm doing on the side of my house. But I'll just leave it as is. The oil is getting heated up, and at this stage, I will put the whole spices, right? Whole spices, stir it a bit. This is exactly how it is done. And then I'll put, I'm getting instruction that it's not get hot enough, but I think it's hot enough, so I'm going to put the onion. And at this stage, when I put the onion, I'm going to put a little bit of salt so that the onion gets kind of oozes the water early. This is exactly how it is made. And I'm going to saute this onion until it's kind of brown. And this is still on a high flame. And then slowly the way to cook this is remove the sticks. And that's like how you do the temperature control. So let me do this for a minute before I put the ginger garlic paste. So now the onion is translucent. At this stage I'll put the coriander and the turmeric. What am I saying? I'm going to put the ginger and the garlic. And I'm going to again make sure I fry this well till the smell of the garlic and the ginger, the raw smell, is gone before I put the mutton and the spice. It's as simple as that. And that's why I call it's a picnic style mutton, where you are basically doing it simple but very, very tasty. Alright, the onion, garlic, ginger has well mixed. So this is when I'm going to take the mutton. And this is 1.5 kg of mutton. Again, very crude, very rustic, decanter. I'm going to put it in there. And then along with this, I'm going to put the tenderizer, which is the papaya. And this is where I'm going to fry this a bit. And as I fry it a little bit, mix it up with the oil and the ginger garlic, before which I will put the spices. The mutton is cooking up. At this stage, I'm going to put the spices that go. And again, this is spices you're carrying to the picnic area. Not much problem. So you got red chili powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, coriander, a bit of cumin powder, and turmeric powder. Right, again, I'm doing it the way you would do it in the riverbed. Not much thing, and that's it. And then I'm going to stir this with the spices. Yeah. All right. The spices have blended well. At this point in time, I'm going to hand it over to my sous chef, Horen, who's going to take it through the final stage, which is basically putting the water and letting it simmer. And the simmering here is basically you take out the lit wood, so that you bring down the temperature down and simmer, right? So that's exactly what happens when you cook picnic style mutton in Assam. Right? Well, that's Horen's going to do the final touch with bamboo leaf cover and everything else. And that's it. That's your Assam picnic style mutton. Simple, easy, but I love the rusticity of this dish. This is the last treatment where the red chili powder with oil is being heated up. And this is what they do. And then you basically lift the lid and you pour it inside. And that's where the color comes from. That's the tarka type of thing they would do. You cover it immediately. And this is going to simmer for about 5 more minutes. It's all done.